Hey, it's Laura with Mom's Song Call. And today we get to talk about grace in the chaos.
Thank you, Lord, for giving me the ability to receive your grace in the middle of all this chaos by embracing the mess. I used to be one to be anxious to clean up all the finger paints or the messy dinner that's all over my kids' faces and all over the floor. But in the middle of this, I just kind of embrace it. And we actually make a point to get messy every single day with in the sprinklers and the water and popsicles and paints everywhere and really messy dinners. And somehow God has given me the ability to not be anxious about getting all that cleaned up, and quite the opposite. We make a point to do it every single day, and there's something really calming about the whole thing. I say this as I hear my children yelling in the background, but thank you, God, for this grace, and I continue to look for it throughout this pandemic, and I hope everyone stays safe and healthy.
Going to get this on the list back in?
Yes, please. What?
Mommy, my Oreo breaking.
It's okay. Hey friends, back on the bike. That was a look of my chaos today. And one thing I've learned is to not only give myself grace, but to give others around me just as much grace through these hard days.
Hey there, my name is Toni Collier, and I'm the mom to a 5-year-old strong-willed blessing. And recently, I've become the homeschool teacher to said 5-year-old, thanks to COVID-19. But honestly, today was a chaotic day for our household. I may have had more screen time than learning time, and my 5-year-old also may have convinced me to give her a lollipop for breakfast, but here we are. The truth is, as I wind down for the night after putting her to bed, I remember the scripture, 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, where God's saying to us that his grace is sufficient and his power is made perfect in weakness. And I know that that still applies to me today, not only so that his power can pour into me so that I can have refuge and peace, but so that I can extend that sufficient grace right back out to my family. What does grace look like in the middle of chaos for your family? And are you seeking God's power to help you extend that grace?
Let's face it, the new normal isn't so normal. And I personally don't think it's ever going to feel normal. So it's okay to give yourself some grace, like keeping the living room not so tidy all the time. That's okay. I'm thankful though we do have Moms on Call that gives us a nice rundown and reminds us, okay, here's a daily schedule. Gives us a little bit more in the way of normalcy. But in the book, how it also talks about crazy days? This time around, I'm just thinking, okay, we just have several crazy days in a row. We're gonna get through this together. Remember, we've gotta stick with our friends. It's okay to talk out your feelings. It's also okay to cry out your feelings. And the little ones, they're gonna need that extra love too. We're in this together. Construction paper for all.
Hi.
Hi, good morning, guys. How you doing? Veteran Jackson here, Tampa, Florida, with Jackson and Action Injury Foundation. Just want to take a minute to send some positive vibes, hopefully put a smile on your face with this cute little bugger here. Obviously, it's a unique time for all of us transitioning to working and going to school remotely. It's not easy by any means, and you don't got to do it all. So just stay positive, take one day at a time, and we will get through this. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Chaffee at Baby Braithwaite. Laura and Jennifer asked me to speak about grace amidst chaos during all of this. So my 2 cents on all of this is, it is very clear that life as we know it has been completely changed. There is nothing the same anymore for us currently. And I think the grace I'm trying to give myself is to say, let's roll with it, and to give my kids grace to figure out each day as it comes, to not worry about doing it all because we simply can't, and just to stay super positive. I think the grace for me is that to focus on positivity and to not focus on the things that are different and that are hard and that we can't control, because it's all different. And you know what, sometimes we just need to roll with the punches. And that's, I think, what I'm trying to do right now, is just to roll the punches and stay as positive as I can for me, for my business, and for my family.
I would say that during this challenging time, grace has revealed itself to me in the form of something that I think I lack in my everyday life, and that's patience. I'm kind of embarrassed and sad to really think about this, but I guess I'm not the most patient person, and it's been amplified over the years with just I think going through life changes as a woman, having kids older, the stressors of life, the pressures of life. And I will say, during this time of really slowing things down, I've tried to be so mindful of asking better questions to the kids, or really exploring, maybe if Jim is tense, finding ways that I can help him more during this time, and really just reveling in the fact that we are at a slow pace right now. What better time to try and create a habit that hopefully will take you with you going forward as things pick back up again, and they will. So at this time, I'm just so grateful that God has shown me, Christine, patience really is a virtue, and it's something you need to work on. And I've really seen that play out during this challenging time.
Hey everybody, I'm Karen Stubbs from Birds on a Wire, and I just wanted to pop on here just for a second and talk about giving yourself grace as a mom. You know what? We are in some unprecedented times, and if ever you are going to give yourself grace, it's now. Because you're stuck indoors a lot. Even if you go outside, you just really can't really leave your house and all of that. And you're under a lot of stress. You're trying to homeschool, you're trying to do your job, you're trying to do all your mother duties, and cook and clean and everything else. And it's just piling up. And every week it gets a little and little and a little bit more. So we all need to take a deep breath. We all need to give ourselves grace, and we all just need to breathe and realize that we will get through this. Do something for yourself today as a woman, as a mom, because you deserve it. Give yourself some grace. Love you guys.
Hey everyone, my name is Lindsay Jackson. I'm a mom of 4 and a full-time working teacher. I'm coming to you with some advice for all of you embarking upon the homeschooling journey with your own kids and families. Please don't feel like you need to do all of the work assigned. It is way more important to have our kids balanced and healthy and as stress-free as possible during this time. Stress is unbelievably damaging to our mind and our bodies and our immunity. And I know this is very controversial for a teacher to say, but make some realistic goals. If your family can't get all of the work done, don't stress about it. I can absolutely tell you that my kids have not done every assignment their teachers have assigned to them, and that's okay. We're taking this all in stride, and we're learning as we go. One day we might do it all, but that day is not today.
Hi there, I'm Megan Tucker with Baby Basics, and when asked what grace in the chaos means to me, I immediately thought of the opposite of chaos being order. And I think when many of us experience chaos, we grasp at every last thread of order we can find to help us process the chaos. But for me, grace in the chaos means being flexible. It means not letting the chaos or the need for order control us. It means giving myself and my family space to enjoy those unexpected moments in the chaos. I know we're juggling a lot as parents right now, but I just want to encourage you all to remember to give yourself grace, to have fun in the chaos.
Hi everyone, my name is Yanni Bryant. I'm the owner of Baby Bear Necessities and the Savannah Moms on Call consultant. Like all of you, I've struggled these last few weeks trying to find our new normal and trying to find joy in this really strange season of life. But I've found that just choosing to be grateful and finding things to be grateful for every day helps reset my mind and helps me to find grace in this chaos. So from little things like great weather, so that we can play outside with our 2.5-year-old and just get a change of scenery, to some other more unusual things like new ways to spend time together as a family. We hopped in the car the other day, got some drive-through ice cream, and sat in the parking lot and watched Little Mermaid in the back seat together. So I hope that you guys are finding grace in this chaos and, finding things to be grateful for. And I hope that you're all well and safe. And I pray that we can all connect together soon.
Hi, my name is Liz McGee, and I am the Raleigh, North Carolina Moms on Call consultant. I just wanted to send out some love to all of you who are navigating this difficult time as parents or caretakers and teachers now. This new normal that we're living in is so challenging, and I'd like to encourage you to end each day on a high note. No matter what's gone down, it's okay to acknowledge and lean into those really tough emotions that we're feeling, that are happening, and just know that what's going on is so real and so raw, and it's hard. Not every day is going to be a good day. There are going to be bad days, and that's okay. You can't always check off all the boxes and feel like a superhero. Finding those things at the end of the day that you are grateful for and you can thank God for in the midst of this global crisis, sometimes that's your only peace after you've spent the whole day parenting and trying to work or trying to clean and trying to be a spouse. I have 2 young boys at home. I get it. The grace in this chaotic time is that just like before all this happened, each morning is a blank slate, a fresh start. So pour yourself a big cup of coffee and begin again. Stay safe.
Hey everyone, my name is Katherine Bridges and I'm a consultant for Moms on Call. I'm also a mom to 3 young kids, ages 6, 4, and 2, and I work as a nurse in labor and delivery. When I think of grace, I think of how I can extend it to each member of my family. My husband also works in the hospital, which has been very stressful for both of us right now. One or both of us has been at work pretty much every day the last month. So we've tried to really focus on being extra loving and kind and supportive of each other when we're home and keeping our home environment as stress-free as possible. When I think of extending grace to my kids, I try to remember that their world has also been turned upside down. They're trying to do virtual learning. They're not able to see their friends. So when they act out, I try to give extra grace to them right now, and a little extra screen time never hurt either. And then I also try to extend some extra grace to myself. I like to keep my house clean, stay on a schedule, keep up with laundry, and that is all very hard to do with 3 kids at home while trying to work from home and also working in the hospital. So I'm trying to just embrace some of the chaos, enjoy this crazy time we're living in as much as possible, make some fun memories, and make the most of it. So I hope you all stay healthy and safe during this time.
Hi, my name is Emily. I'm a Moms on Call baby and toddler consultant, and I wanted to share what I have learned about grace in the chaos during this season of the stay-at-home orders and COVID. So what we started doing in our family is having do-overs, empathizing with one another, offering grace, because we all mess up. I have a 4-year-old daughter, so sometimes I'll be like, Mommy didn't use her sweet voice. Can I have a do-over? Will you let me do that again, please? Or maybe sometimes she's whining or throwing a fit, and I'll be like, Harper, we don't speak whinese in this house. I'm gonna give you a do-over, and next time I want you to use your sweet, calm voice when talking to Mommy. I definitely have learned more about leading my family with grace, and on those hard days, I just speak positive affirmations into my heart. And one of my favorite ones that I recently have found in one of my daughter's book, A Little Spot of Confidence, is today is a new day. You know, we all mess up at times. Bad moments don't make bad moms. You give yourself grace and give yourself a do-over. We will have a great start. I will listen to the voice inside my heart. I will let good thoughts inside my mind and tell myself, I am strong, I am enough, I will give myself grace.
The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. Hey everyone, my name is Kelly, and I'm one of the Moms on Call consultants in Alabama. And the scripture from Lamentations 3:22 and 23 is one of my favorites, especially during this time, this pandemic that we're going through, where everybody is facing different situations, different circumstances that many of us might not be used to. And one thing that we need to remember as parents is that some days are just going to be crazy, and some days will not go as we plan, and some days we might feel like we are just defeated at the end of the day. We didn't do everything that we needed to do, whether it be work or schoolwork that we're not used to doing at home, or either we feel like we didn't do enough with our kids. But when bedtime comes, you say those prayers, you tuck them in tight, you tell them that you love them, and then you go have a few minutes to yourself and realize that tomorrow is a new day and we have new opportunities. And just like the Lord's mercies are never ending, we can start a new day tomorrow, and we can have new goals, and we can set new realistic expectations with our families. And if we do that, we'll survive this pandemic just fine.
Grace to me in this season is learning to let go of my expectations. I tend to put a lot on myself. I'm a doer. I'm a type A personality. I love to get things done. I love to have them done really well and always want 110%. And in this season, I'm learning to just let go and just be present and really make memories with my kids. I'm learning that it's okay if I don't pick up my house every night, or if I am not able to get all the laundry folded by the end of the day, or have the perfect homeschool lessons for my preschooler, or be able to complete everything with my kindergartner in an appropriate amount of time. I'm learning to just be present with them, to just make this time about creating memories with my kids, getting on the floor and playing with them, playing games, being creative, being outside, teaching them Bible stories, and just really making great memories as a family. We tend to be so rushed in our society, going from one thing to the next. And I think this season is really teaching me to just be still and just enjoy being a mom and enjoy my time with my kids. And hopefully they will leave this season not seeing me as the perfect homeschool teacher or the Martha Stewart mom, but seeing me as a mom who has created some fun memories for them. So that's what grace means to me.
Relaxing our expectations during this time of, what we think a day should look like, and routines, and, not being sticklers about every little thing has really helped kind of relaxed everybody. Don't you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. One of the other things that I think we like to do as well is just at the end of each day, recognize the things that went really well throughout the day, at least one thing each, and then another thing that we do is just recognize maybe something that wasn't so fun, just to talk about it. Sometimes we talk about it for 3 seconds and move on, and other times we might talk about it for a few minutes, but it just gives us an opportunity as a family just to continue to, really with Sam, because he's 5, to continue to parent out of truth and not fear, and address some of those scarier things throughout the day with him, and help him be bold in those. And so we just have a little game we play, and Sam's really latched onto it. It's really cool.
Really likes it.
It's really cool. Last night I said, all right, let's do our thumbs up and our thumbs down. He said, I don't want to tell you without mom. So
We all had to be in the same room.
All have to be in the same room. But yeah, we just each share one thumbs up and one thumbs down on what happened throughout the day.
Yeah, and that's helped a lot. With a 2-year-old too, who just never stops. I think having structure, which we've always had because of Moms on Call, having that structure with nap times, and this is when we eat, this is when we have snack, it helps make the day move a little smoother. It helps make the day move better because we kind of know what the next thing is. We're not guessing, and trying to pull things out of a hat. as to when things will happen. This is when nap time is, and this is when dinner time is, and we try to stick to those as best we can, you know, while being relaxed. I think that's helped us kind of find the grace in the chaos, because if we didn't have that and days were just all over the place, it would be really rough, you know, being at home all day, every day together for the last 4 weeks.
The older I get, the easier it is to answer this question, because I've been practicing over and over and actually know the answer. You see, grace is always through my Savior, Jesus. God, through his son Jesus, has given me grace I don't deserve by meeting my deepest and greatest need for a Savior for my sins. Therefore, it's now my joy to give that grace and to show that grace to others. So grace for me in chaos has become my way of living for a while now. As a grandmother, I've come to realize just by receiving the grace that's given to me by my Lord and Creator, I can give that grace every single day by loving big right where I am, in quarantine or not. It's a choice. Loving my grandchildren big and bold is one of the biggest joys of my life. It's like getting a second chance, because I've seen firsthand how fast time flies. I see the urgency to tell these precious little people what I know to be true now. I want it to permeate most everything I say and how I say it, because the truth I have to share with them is going to be their grace in the chaos of every storm they face. Every single storm, big or little. So I tell them, I show them, and I sing it to them a lot. And now they're singing with me. It's my joy to sing and come alongside their precious parents to teach them about that grace through Jesus. So my grace in the chaos, it's God's love. It always has been, and it always will be. I hope it's your grace in the chaos too.
Hi everyone. As a news anchor, it is daunting to be talking about this pandemic every single day, every minute of our news broadcasts. And I can only thank the Lord for giving me the strength and the perspective that I have to think to myself as we're giving these stories. They're important. This is information people need to know. And I've really been seeking out the silver linings, the good moments of people coming together. And it's not easy to do, and I definitely feel God's hand on it when I'm reading my scripts, going through a newscast, just trying to get my mind right to realize that this isn't all depressing. This is important information, and some of the moments of people coming together and neighbors helping neighbors are things that people really need to hear right now. So I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy.
I think the hardest part about quarantine for me as a mom is not only allowing my kids more grace, but extending myself more grace. This is all new. We're all doing it for the first time together, and there is no right way to do it. Something I've kind of adopted and I have written everywhere in my house is the saying, pain with a purpose. This is not fun. We don't know how long it's gonna last. We don't know what's going to happen when we try to go back to normal, but we do have a purpose, and our purpose is those little people. Normally, on the days where I feel like I have failed miserably and my mommy card is going to get taken anytime, is when my 4-year-old curls up in my lap just before bedtime and says, "Mommy, I had the best day." And that's when my grace tank goes way up.
Hi everyone, my name is Kate. I am a Moms on Call consultant, and I am also the founder of a company called Bumble Baby. And I've been finding grace in the chaos a lot these days. I actually just had a baby. Her name is Rowie. She's 5 weeks old, and then I have 2 other toddlers at home, Finn, who is 3, and B, who is 22 months, that you'll hear in the background here, and you'll also hear Toy Story, part of finding grace in the chaos. But I have been finding grace in the chaos by kind of letting go of expectations during this time, and then also just accepting in survival mode. Accepting that survival mode is okay right now. It's okay for your kids to be eating goldfish and watching Toy Story at 9:30 in the morning. It's okay, you know, to be in your pajamas all day. It's okay to let your kids take a TV break, give yourself a TV break, whatever you need in this time. And that survival mode is okay right now. We're all just trying to get through. So I have been finding grace in the chaos by just letting go of my expectations and also just accepting that this time is going to be survival mode and it's temporary and we'll get through it.
Hi, my name is Olivia Pinheiro. I am a mom of 2 and I work for Moms on Call. Right now we are focusing on our grace in the chaos. And so for us during this time, that means letting the laundry pile up, letting dishes pile over, and throwing our decorative pillows on the floor because floor is lava. So we are encouraging parents to find their moment of their grace in the chaos as well.
As a dad, I want to give my kids every good thing I can, especially if they're going through a chaotic time in their life. And if I'm going to be graceful to them and I'm going to help them understand God's grace, I need to do that in my own life. I need to be in touch with God's grace myself. I need to seek it out. I need to receive it. I need to be trusting in God to deal with my own chaos before I can truly encourage them in a way that's genuine. And I think if I do that, or the better I do that, the better I can be genuine with my kids, the better I can encourage them, because I truly understand that I need grace in my life. I need God's grace to help me through my chaos. And that's what I want to do. I want to be faithful to do that in my own life so that when I have an opportunity to encourage them in grace.
Hi, my name is Lacey, and I'm going to talk to you all a little bit about grace in the chaos and how I'm spreading it during this time. A little backstory: my grandmother passed away on Monday, March 30th, and we could not visit her while she was in the hospital. So the nurses did help us FaceTime her here and there, but my family consists of her 8 children, 28 grandchildren, and 10 great-grandchildren. So there was just no way that we were all going to be able to FaceTime her and the nurses were going to be able to help that many times. So I set up an old laptop with the app House Party downloaded to it. The app allows you to join your friends' chat rooms without them having to answer the call, which my grandma was incapable of doing herself. A couple days after she passed, I just felt it in me that I needed to get this solution to other families so that they would have the same opportunity that we had. So my sister and I, we created the Keiko Newts Amazing Grace Foundation. Keiko Newts is our grandmother, and Amazing Grace was her favorite song. We receive tablet donations and then set them all up and turn around and donate those to hospitals. The hospitals then put them in the patients' rooms so that they can be virtually connected with their loved ones at home. We are just so excited and feel so blessed to be able to extend this sort of grace to people at this time. And I just hope that other families have the same experience that we had, as far as just feeling so connected to our grandma, even though we physically were not able to be there. If you would like more information, if you have a loved one in the hospital and you want to figure out how you can do this yourself, or you want to donate, you can go to our Instagram and find our website, and it'll tell you exactly the ways that you can help.
I think grace for me looks like not having or not putting the pressure on myself to have fun activities planned for my toddlers every single day, but just letting them use their imagination and letting go of some control. For example, allowing them to pull the cushions off the couch and build a big fort in the living room with it. That's what grace looks like for me.
Hi, my name is Jody Sweeney, and I'm a wife, a mom, and a grandmother. I'm also a teacher and have been for well over 40 years. I know that many of you have been thrown into this role, not by your own choice, but by the circumstances of this crazy world that we're now living in. I know how hard and frustrating it can be to try to work with your own children. Even as a teacher, trying to help my daughters with their homework, they often complained that I didn't know how to do it because that's not the way their teacher did it. Just remember that you are the most important teacher they've ever had or ever will have, because you teach them things well beyond what school can teach them. So take a deep breath, take a step back, and cut yourself some slack. And remember, one day when you're sitting at their high school graduation, you can turn to the person next to you and say, "Hey, I was their teacher in 2020, and look at them now."
Hey, I'm Morgan Eddy, CEO of Moms on Call. Earlier this year, I was nervous about the chaos associated with starting a new job with 2 young toddlers who were in daycare full-time. I look back and laugh because little did I know what was in store for us with coronavirus. Chaos has taken on a whole new meaning as I find myself and those 2 toddlers who need constant attention, and my husband, who also works for a small business, at home together all the time. So one thing that we found particularly helpful as far as maintaining grace in this season of chaos has been Brené Brown's 80-20 rule. It's a twist on the typical 50-50 rule that says everyone gives 50-50 to get to 100%. As Brené says, you're never actually giving exactly 50-50. It's typically a little bit more or a little bit less depending on the season and the circumstances. So for us, this means me having enough grace with myself to tell my husband when I'm only at a 20% and vice versa. That gives him the opportunity to have the grace to say, okay, I can step up and take the extra 80% right now, or you know what, I can only give 20% right now too. And when we can't collectively get to 100%, that's when we know something has to give. So whether it's an extra hour of screen time or taking a work call with Paw Patrol playing in the background, school home, as my 3-year-old calls it, not happening for the day, or just throwing everyone in the car, driving down the road and watching construction trucks for an hour, whatever we need to do to just lighten our load a little bit. This has just been something that's super helpful for us, and I hope it helps some of you. And just remember that no matter how messy and chaotic this time in this season looks, we will get through it, and you've got this. Bye.
Hi, Jennifer Walker here from Moms on Call, and today I want to give you a word of encouragement. We often talk about grace in the chaos, and what that means is that there's going to be more messes, there's going to be more fighting between kids. It's not going to seem perfect when we're together at home this much. And the fight, the battle is not between you and your toddler. The battle is between you and the truth. And even at those times that you feel like you are doing the worst, the fact that you were there, the fact that you're engaging, the fact that you're wondering how to get through this and trying to do your best, that is grace in the chaos. And the truth is, they are safe, they are loved. You guys will learn how to manage this new normal, and no matter what, you love these kids. And that constitutes a great and powerful truth.